You can be surrounded by people and still feel like you're living behind glass. Conversations happen around you, you smile, you nod, you play your part. But somewhere deep inside, there's a quiet distance you can't explain, a kind of loneliness that doesn't match your life at all. It feels like you're present but not truly in your life, included but not connected. And the more you notice it, the more confusing it becomes. Why does a full life still feel emotionally empty? Hold that question, because the answer isn't what you think. This kind of loneliness is subtle. It doesn't look dramatic from the outside. You show up to the group chat. You attend events. You keep your schedule full. You try to be easygoing. But internally, you feel like you're performing the role of yourself instead of being yourself. You laugh at the right moments. You say the safe things. You avoid creating friction. You avoid creating vulnerability. You avoid creating anything that could show the real you. And afterward, you go home feeling drained, but you can't explain why. You ask yourself, why do I feel so alone when I'm not actually alone? This loneliness doesn't come from lack of people. It comes from lack of being known. It shows up in your relationships too. You struggle to open up and then feel hurt when no one notices what's really going on. You're helpful, reliable, supportive, but almost no one knows what you need in return. You hide your disappointment or stress until it becomes too heavy to carry. And you don't ask for help because you don't want to feel like a burden. This creates a loop. The more you protect yourself, the less connected you feel. The less connected you feel, the more you protect yourself. This is not random. It points to a psychological pattern called identity masking, a quiet habit of suppressing real emotional signals to stay safe, accepted, or easy to be around. But don't worry. This is not evidence that you're broken. There's a reason your brain learned to do this. You don't feel lonely because you're defective. You feel lonely because your mind is working too hard to protect you. You may have grown up in environments where being emotionally open wasn't safe, wasn't welcome, or simply wasn't modeled. You might have learned early on that being agreeable kept the peace, that being low maintenance got you love, that hiding discomfort prevented conflict, that shrinking a little made you more acceptable. So your brain adapted. It hid the parts of you that felt too risky to reveal. This wasn't self-sabotage, it was survival. And now, as an adult, your life is full, but your emotional world is still guarded. Your brain is still running old instructions in new situations. And that's why your loneliness doesn't match your reality. Let's break down what's actually happening in your brain. Humans are wired for connection, but connection is only meaningful when it's based on something real. Your identity, your emotions, your inner signals. When you hide those signals, your brain interprets the situation as, people don't know me, so people can't connect with me, so I'm still alone. Even in a full room, your nervous system treats you as isolated. Here's the metaphor. Your brain is like a radio transmitter. When you lower the volume of your authentic self, others can't tune in. So no matter how many radios are in the room, you still feel unheard. The psychological mechanism behind this is called emotional masking, which is driven by the brain's threat detection network. When your amygdala senses possible rejection or conflict, it tells your prefrontal cortex to adjust your behavior, to play it safe, to blend in, so you present a softer, edited version of yourself, one that doesn't risk friction. The result? You get social interaction without emotional resonance. In other words, people meet the version of you that protects you, not the version that connects you. And your brain feels that loss. But you can shift this pattern, not by forcing vulnerability, but by understanding the internal signals your brain has been filtering out. Here's a simple, psychology-backed framework to help your brain reconnect with itself and with others. We'll walk through 4 steps. 1. Notice your micro-masking moments. These are tiny moments when you hide yourself. When you smile even though you're tense. When you say it's fine even when it isn't. When you downplay something that matters to you. Works. Awareness activates the prefrontal cortex, reducing automatic threat responses and giving you more choice in the moment. If example. A friend asks, "How are you?" You feel the urge to say good, but you pause and notice the tightness in your chest. You realize you're not fine, you're stressed. You don't have to overshare. Just noticing the mask is the first shift. 2. Reveal 5% more than you usually do. Not 100%, not a dramatic confession, just 5% more truth. Works. Gradual exposure reduces social threat sensitivity. Your brain relearns that small vulnerability doesn't lead to danger. Life example. Instead of "I'm good," you try honestly, "I've been overwhelmed today." It's small, but it gives people something real to respond to. That 5% creates space for genuine connection to enter. 3. Let people do something for you. People bond through reciprocity. Support flows both ways. But if you never let anyone help you, your brain keeps reinforcing the belief that you're alone in your experience. Works. Accepting help activates the brain's bonding circuits, oxytocin and reward pathways. It teaches your nervous system that connection is safe. Life example. You let someone pick you up, bring you something, or listen for a few minutes instead of saying, "I'm fine, don't worry." The small act rewires the internal narrative of isolation. 4. Share your preferences, not just your presence. Connection grows from specificity. People can't know you if they never learn your actual likes, dislikes, or boundaries. Works. Your identity becomes more congruent. The outer self matches the inner one. This reduces social dissonance and strengthens real belonging. Life example. Instead of saying whatever you want, you say, "I'd actually prefer something quiet tonight." Or, "I don't love that restaurant, can we try something else?" Small clarity builds larger connection. 5. Practice emotional labeling before social situations. You enter a social space, name what you're feeling. Calm, anxious. Imagine your emotional life as a house. You've spent years inviting people into the living room, the safe, clean, curated part that always looks fine. But the rooms that matter, the ones with your real thoughts, your real fears, your real joys, have stayed closed. Each step in this framework opens one door just a little. Not all at once, not dramatically, but slowly, gently, consistently. And as you open those doors, your brain begins to experience what it's been missing. The sense that someone sees you, not the mask, not the version you think they want. You. That is when loneliness begins to loosen. Not because your life becomes fuller, but because you become more present in it. You don't have to perform your way through your relationships. You don't have to stay hidden inside your own life. You don't have to carry the quiet ache of being surrounded but unseen. You're allowed to take up emotional space. You're allowed to be real in small, honest ways. And with each tiny shift, your world becomes less distant, less hollow, less lonely.